Hidden behind modern streets besides the River Irwell stands ruins of one of Greater Manchester's oldest surviving medieval buildings. A crumbling fragment of stone surrounded by housing estates, roads and silence. Most people pass it without ever realising what it once was. But 600 years ago, this was a symbol of power, fear and survival. This is the story of the forgotten fortress of Lancashire. Long before factories and terraced streets covered this part of Greater Manchester, the area around Radcliffe was a wild woodland and marshland. The town's name comes from the Old English words meaning red cliff, likely a reference to the reddish sandstone cliffs beside the river. And it was here, on a naturally defensive bend of the River Irwell, that the Radcliffe family established their seat of power after the Norman conquest of England. The family became one of the most influential households in Lancashire, and in 1403 Sir James de Radcliffe was granted a licence to kennelate by King Henry IV. That meant he had royal permission to fortify his manor house. Battlements, defensive walls, a tower, arrow slits, not quite a castle, but something close. What survives today is only a fraction of the original complex. The medieval manor once stretched far beyond the standing ruins. There were halls, chambers, kitchens, service buildings and courtyards. The tower itself formed part of a fortified manor designed not only for status, but protection. Northern England during the late Middle Ages was dangerous. Raids from Scotland, political instability, and feuding noble families meant wealthy landowners needed strongholds, and Radcliffe Tower became exactly that. Imagine this place in the 15th century, torches burning against stone walls, servants rushing through corridors, horses in the courtyard, smoke rising from fireplaces, the Radcliffe family dining beneath timber beams while armed retainers guarded the grounds outside. This wasn't simply a home, it was a statement of authority, a reminder that the de Radcliffes controlled the land around them. But like many medieval families, the Radcliffes would eventually decline. Power shifted, wars changed England forever, and over time the manor lost its importance. By the 18th and 19th centuries, the once grand manor had fallen into ruin. Large sections were demolished, stone stripped away, nature had reclaimed the site. A humiliating end to what had once been a fortified residence of Lancashire nobility. But perhaps the greatest threat to Radcliffe Tower wasn't war, it was industrialisation. As the Industrial Revolution transformed northern England, Radcliffe changed completely. Cotton mills rose beside the river, workers flooded into town, smoke replaced forests, the medieval world disappeared beneath brick railways and industry. And somehow, among all that change, the ruins survived. A ghost of medieval Lancashire trapped inside an industrial town. Today Radcliffe Tower is protected as a scheduled ancient monument, but despite its historical importance, many people in Greater Manchester have never heard of it. There are no huge tourist crowds, no gift shops, no dramatic castle walls, just weathered stone standing quietly beside the river. And maybe that's what makes it powerful, because Radcliffe Tower represents something rare, a surviving piece of ordinary medieval England, not the palace of kings, not famous battlefields, but the real landscape where local history happened. For more than 6 centuries, Radcliffe Tower has watched the world change around it. It survived civil unrest, industrialisation, urban expansion, and the disappearance of the very family that built it. Now the tower stands alone, broken, but still standing. A monument to a forgotten Lancashire past, and proof that history never truly disappears. Sometimes, it's simply waiting beneath the ruins.